Hi, friend. Welcome back to Your Body Speaks, the podcast where we decode the hidden messages your body sends you every single day. I'm your host, Dr. Brook, and today we are diving deep into your body's largest organ, your skin. This is episode 19, and we're going to be asking the big question: what are you itching to get out of? Most of us treat our skin like it's just packaging. But what if I told you that your skin is actually one of your body's most sophisticated communication systems? You know that rash that keeps coming back? What about those mysterious breakouts? The hives that show up when certain people are around? Your skin isn't just being difficult, it's actually trying to tell you something. And today, we're going beyond the surface to explore how your skin reflects your emotional state, your stress levels, your boundaries, and even your deepest unspoken truths. Let's start with something fundamental. Your skin is your boundary. It's literally where you end and the world begins. But here's something that will blow your mind. Anything that touches your skin enters your bloodstream in just 26 seconds. So, that lotion you're using, that soap, that makeup, it's literally becoming a part of your internal chemistry within half a minute. This means your skin isn't just a boundary, it's actually a gateway. And just like emotional boundaries, your skin boundaries can be healthy and strong, or they can be compromised and reactive. Think about the last time you had a significant skin reaction. Now, think about what was happening in your life. Were you saying yes when you wanted to say no, allowing somebody to treat you uncomfortably, pushing yourself beyond your limits? Your skin often breaks down when your boundaries break down. When you can't say no with your voice, your skin says it for you through inflammation, through breakouts, through reactions that force you to pay attention. I worked with a woman who, for 4 years, had this horrible cracking skin around her lips that would literally grow larger and ultimately reach down into her chin and up to her nose. She had seen everyone, dermatologists, specialists, all the people who would prescribe creams, steroids, you name it, but nothing worked. And after our first session together, she had a 40% improvement and less redness in her face. And that was with no creams at all. We addressed her body as a whole, which revealed serious gut issues, deep seated emotional trauma that her body had been trying to communicate through her skin. And I just want to report that she's doing way better now. Her skin healed when we listened to what it really was trying to say. So here's your first exercise of this episode. The next time you have any skin reaction, before you reach for a treatment, ask yourself, what boundary might be compromised in my life right now? And you can use your Body Whispers journal that you can get in the show notes below to do this as well. So I want to dive into how different emotions create different skin responses. So once you know what to look for, you can start to read your skin like a map of your internal world. And doesn't life get easier when we feel like we have a map to follow? So the first one is anger. Anger shows up as heat and inflammation, redness, burning sensations. These are often signs of suppressed anger. But here's what's interesting. It's usually not the anger you express that shows up on your skin. It's the anger you swallow. The next one is fear. Fear makes your skin hypersensitive. Suddenly, products you've used for years start causing reactions. This often happens during major life changes or when you're feeling extremely vulnerable. What about shame? Shame creates hiding behaviors, acne, rashes, skin discoloration. These often appear when we're feeling ashamed, when we want to hide, when we don't feel worthy of being seen. Of course, there are physical components to skin breakouts like hormones and so forth. But what about overwhelm? Overwhelm shows up as hives. Hives are your skin's way of saying, I can't handle all of this input. They appear when you're overstimulated or trying to process too much at once. Think about your own skin patterns. What emotions were you feeling the last time you had a significant skin reaction? Don't judge yourself. I just want you to notice. Remember, there are no bad emotions. The problem isn't having these emotions. God gave them to us. But the problem is not having healthy ways to process them, to allow them to get stuck in our bodies. And your skin is simply trying to help you process what you're not processing emotionally. Now, let's talk about that itch, literal and metaphorical. When your skin itches, your body is literally saying something needs to change here. An itch demands your attention. You cannot ignore it, no matter how much you try. Even if you try to will yourself through the itch, your brain is going to make that itch louder and louder until you actually scratch it. Now, let's be clear though. Itching can absolutely have some physical causes associated with it. Liver issues can create systemic itching, bug bites, contact with irritants, grass, dry skin. These are all real physical triggers that do need attention. But when you have recurring, unexplained itching that doesn't have an obvious physical cause, or when the physical treatments aren't giving you lasting relief, that's when we need to look deeper. Reoccurring skin issues often point to food sensitivities your body is trying to process, or coming back to those emotional components that are asking for your attention. It's time to pay attention. So I want to ask you, what are you itching to get rid of? A relationship that no longer serves you, a job that's draining your energy, a living situation that feels very restrictive? What about old patterns that keep you stuck? I want you to try something. Close your eyes and ask yourself, if I can change one thing about my life that would bring me relief, what would it be? I want you to really do this. Whatever came up, that's probably what you're itching to get out of. You don't need dramatic overnight changes. Sometimes that itch can be satisfied by small acts of rebellion, setting a boundary, saying no to something, trying something new, having a conversation you've been avoiding, and do it even if your voice shakes. The key is to honor what your skin is trying to tell you. So, in this part of the episode, I want to ask, how do we become better listeners to our skin's messages? I'm going to give you a simple framework, and I call it the skin method. We're going to first, S, we're going to stop and notice. When you have a skin reaction, don't immediately reach for treatment. Stop first. Notice where it is, what it looks like, how it feels. Your skin's specific language matters. K, keep a connection journal. This is your body's whisper journal that you can download in the show notes below. This will help you start connecting with your skin and your body as a whole so that you can track what's going on. Where's your emotional life? Where are other life circumstances that you're going through? What was happening when things started? What emotions were present? Patterns will start to emerge as you keep track of this. I, investigate the message. Ask yourself, if this skin reaction could talk, what would it say? What might it be protecting me from? Trust your intuition here. God gave it to you for a reason. N, nurture both surface and soul. Yes, take care of your skin's physical needs, but remember that 26-second rule. Choose clean, non toxic products when possible. Your reactions might be telling you that your body is trying to process too many synthetic chemicals. And nurture what's underneath that emotionally. Address the situation that triggered the reaction. This is how you create lasting healing. Now, I want to share something personal with you. And this is not something I've ever talked about, especially on this podcast or in any public forum. But for years, I would break out in red blotches whenever I was nervous or when somebody said something that made me feel shameful. These red blotches would show up all over my chest. And it didn't matter if I was giving a presentation, having a difficult conversation, or just feeling judged. My skin would literally flush with these angry red patches. I tried everything to hide them, to prevent them, to make them go away faster. But what I really needed was years of healing, emotional healing, spiritual healing, mental healing, learning to release the shame and embrace the truth that there is no shame and condemnation when we are in Christ. And as I've done that deeper work, these stress blotches that have become so much less frequent and intense. It's been so beautiful. My skin doesn't have to carry that emotional load anymore because I've learned healthier ways to process those feelings. And speaking of deeper healing, if you are resonating with this skin conversation, you will love the skin card in my Talk to Me Body card deck. It is written from your skin's perspective and offers beautiful wisdom about boundaries, protection, authentic expression. So check it out. It might be exactly what your skin has been trying to tell you. Your skin isn't your enemy. It's trying to help you live more authentic, boundaried, emotionally honest life. Your skin is your ally. The question is, are you listening? Here is your challenge for these next 2 weeks. Start having a real conversation with your skin. When you notice a reaction, I want you to pause and ask, what are you trying to tell me? Be curious rather than critical. Your skin has been talking to you your entire life. Maybe it's time to actually start listening to it. So, this is a wrap on episode 19 of Your Body Speaks. I'd love to hear about your skin listening experiences or your body listening experiences because those are also fun too. Share your insights using the hashtag Your Body Speaks. And if you're watching on YouTube, be sure to review, share, and subscribe. It does help more people discover these life changing conversations about listening to their bodies. In 2 weeks, we have an epic episode all about fascia with John McLaughlin, who is a craniofacial technician. You're going to learn incredible things about this often overlooked system of your body. And just as a shameless plug, there is a card for fascia in the Talk to Me Body card deck. Until then, listen to your body, trust its wisdom, and transform the way you care for your health. I'm your host, and I will see you next time on Your Body Speaks.